Well, I guess it matters in electoral terms because a big row between the sitting Prime Minister and his predecessor, open warfare, on the record warfare between those two, isn't good for the Tories electorally. You know, the old cliche of divided parties don't win elections. Well, it's true. I think it's interesting watching Rishi Sunak's response more than Boris Johnson's. I think Boris Johnson's sort of bombastic words about talking rubbish in the last half an hour are to be expected. What is unusual is Rishi Sunak, in that clip you saw from that speech this morning, has clearly decided that he doesn't want to just try and dampen all of this down and hope it will peter out. He actually wants to hit back and try and put some distance between him and Boris Johnson and try to return to one of the sort of founding messages that he put out there when he went into Number 10, which was that he wants to restore sort of discipline and process and stability to government. And I think the calculation behind the scenes is probably that the damage that could be done by inflaming the situation is not as big as the damage that could be done if Rishi Sunak doesn't show a bit of strength towards Boris Johnson now and try and put a bit of clear blue water between him and his predecessor. In terms of like who comes out on the upside of this, well, I think it's interesting to see that since Rishi Sunak made those remarks this morning, and since Grant Shapps, a senior minister in Rishi Sunak's government, came out and made some pretty punchy remarks about the world moving on from Boris Johnson yesterday, we haven't seen any more resignations. We haven't seen any more Boris Johnson allies up in arms. And in fact, talking to one Boris Johnson supporter and friend of the former Prime Minister, Sir Jake Berry, this morning, he actually sounded pretty mild-mannered on it all and pretty supportive of the sitting Prime Minister. Have a listen.
I saw the Prime Minister's comments earlier today. I mean, you know, I think the point is that I have no idea about private conversations that took place between the Prime Minister and Rishi Sunak. I'm sure that both of them are absolutely beyond reproach in this regard. And, if people are to draw more than sort of he said, she said conclusion from it, then I guess we're going to have to find out more. I look forward to seeing it.
Would you like to see him back in the Commons?
Boris Johnson is a fantastic Conservative, a brilliant parliamentarian, and appeals to the great British public in a way that I've never really seen any other politician do.
More than Rishi Sunak appeals?
No, I think there is just something special about him. He's an extraordinary character.
I guess over and above the sort of politics in all of this, there are two key points of process as well. One is on the Lords Appointment Commission and the process by which people are put into the House of Lords to oversee the passage of legislation and laws through Parliament. Now, the row between Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak rests on whether Boris Johnson allies who are sitting MPs were able to essentially accept their peerages but not take it up until after the next general election. Number 10 essentially are saying that the commission that vets nominations said on a point of principle, no, that wasn't possible. Boris Johnson is now saying that he believes it was possible. They just would have needed to re-vet them at a later stage. I think more broadly, does this sort of increasingly sap people's confidence in the whole process by which people are put into the House of Lords and are made legislators? The second point here is about the Privileges Committee and the report there as well. They have met earlier today to finalise their inquiry. We're expecting that report in the coming days as well. I think if that is massively critical of Boris Johnson, if there is stuff in there that is new about potential breaches of lockdown and what he did and didn't tell the Commons at the time, I think that could do it for Boris Johnson, frankly, and that could be why, the risk of that could be why now Rishi Sunak and Number 10 are deciding it's time to try and put distance between the current administration and Boris Johnson and essentially, as Grant Shapps said yesterday, move on from the period of Boris Johnson.